The confession was small, and the sound outside the enclosed space was muted, like listening to a funeral through the lid of a coffin, Father Mayhew thought, and not for the first time. He felt his hardened mask sitting against the smooth planes of his cheeks, the glamour hiding his true features the way the Roman collar covered the scars the hedge had left around his throat. He let his hands rest on his knees, his index finger ticking off the seconds like a metronome. He had waited 3 of the 5 minutes he'd given his contact when he heard the other door open and a figure enter. The wood of the booth creaked under their weight, and the shadow he saw through the screen took up most of the space. He took a deep breath and frowned. He smelled the coppery stench of blood.
"I bear the crown of thorns,"
a deep, rumbling voice said. Mayhew nodded, even though he was sure the person in the confession booth couldn't actually see him. "Lay down your burdens," he said, keeping his voice as neutral as he could.
"The believers of the first commandment rear their heads," the bulky shadow said. "Thrice did I break the 6th.
"When was this?" Mayhew asked.
"Today, Father," the shadow said.
This time his grunt was one of pain as the figure shifted.
"Near Golgotha."
Mayhew frowned, consulting his mental map as he considered the implications of what he was hearing. When he realized he'd been quiet too long, he cleared his throat. "Did any bear witness to your sin?" he asked.
"Not yet,"
the shadow said.
"But the light may reveal."
"Very well." Mayhew straightened his cassock and finished the ritual. "Contemplate this in the Garden of Woe. Wait there until sunset or until someone comes for you." Mayhew closed the gate over the mesh screen. He listened as the door opened and closed, the booth all but sighing as its occupant left. He let out a long, slow breath and pinched the bridge of his nose. He could feel the deep tracks of tears his keeper had carved along his cheeks, the scars throbbing even after so many years of performing his role as her fool. He inhaled, composed himself, and stepped out of the booth. The report would need to be passed up the chain of command, and the wheels of winter set into motion. Servants of the Gentiles, as they were called in his dialect of Mourning Cant, had been seen and dealt with. Bodies would need to be cleaned up, and the hedge gate near Park Place where they'd emerged from monitored. Subtly, of course. There was much to do, and little time to do it in.